How is Wilf Zaha? How has he been over the last few days, particularly after what's been happening, the abuse he received before the Aston Villa match? He's called for action. He's called for change from social media platforms, and recently we've seen that footballers can have a big impact. They can have a big say in change. How loud a voice, how big a role can you see Wilf having in all of this?
As someone involved in football at this level, I'm very proud of what the players have done. I'm proud of what Kick It Out has done for the game, and that's not just since Black Lives Matter. That goes back way beyond that. But the bottom line is that these things are still happening. Players are still being abused in this way. It affects their mental welfare. There's no doubt about that. For Wilf to receive this on the day of a game and then be expected a couple of hours later to go out and perform and forget all about it, I think that's asking something which isn't humanly possible, because the brain and the mind doesn't function in that way. And of course, you realise that all the time these posts are possible, and people can often hide behind and not even be identified for having made the post. I don't quite know what more football and football people can do other than to take the strongest possible stance and then hopefully catch any culprits and then punish them or educate them, as the case might be. I took offence at people suggesting that my comments were too harsh because it was a 12-year-old boy. Because for the first instance, I had no idea who'd sent the tweet, whether it was a 60-year-old man just leaving a pub or a 5-year-old deciding to, repeat something he'd heard in the playground. So my comment was made that I think people posting these tweets should be punished in the strongest possible way, and that what they do is vile and reprehensible, and is something we shouldn't need to put up with. The fact that it's turned out to be a 12-year-old boy, or if we're to believe the reports, I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but if it's true that it was a 12-year-old boy, in some ways it's even more frightening, because how does someone get educated at the age of 12 to post something quite as vile as he was prepared to post? And where has that come from? And that really raises enormous questions about our education system.
Well, I don't want to get too involved in this one incident, but
no, I know it's a question of sound bites, isn't it? But unfortunately, sometimes the sound bite doesn't work for me. And in this instance, this isn't something that I want the sound bite on. If you really want to hear my opinion on, what's going on with Wilf Zaha, you'll have to, record and use what I say, because I'm not prepared to give one thing thrown out there in a matter which is of such importance.
But in terms of forcing change, from the social media platforms themselves, does Wilf have, that's a big fight. Does he have the character to cope with that, to deal with that, to force a change?
I have no idea. I have no idea how change can be forced on social media. I am absolutely not an expert at all on social media, how it functions and what could be done to stop this type of thing happening from the social media platforms. I'm afraid I'll have to leave that to the people who know all about it. And has Wilf got the character and the desire to step forward in the same way that Raheem Sterling has stepped forward and shown himself to be someone who's prepared to stand out there and stand up for the rights that all people should have, really, and to fight the injustice? Then my answer would be yes, he's strong enough to do it. But how he can do it, what he could do, and what change he could bring about, I really do not know.